10, 9.
You want answers? I want the truth!
Get ready for two guys who can't handle the truth.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
But we can. Dave Palumbo, Chris Aceto. RxMuscle.com presents Heavy Muscle Radio. Watch out!
Welcome back to Heavy Muscle Radio. I'm Dave Palumbo, and I'm joined, as always, by the technician, Chris Aceto, on this December 17th, 2018 evening. And while you guys are listening to the show, I'm probably actually done with my surgery, but I had it done today. We pre-record, obviously. But
how'd it go?
I don't know. I haven't woken up from anesthesia yet. I'm still actually unconscious, but I'm still doing the radio show, Chris. I can't miss.
Well, you gotta take care of the snakes while you're under the anesthesia. Who's gonna take care of the whole shebang? How long are you gonna be under for when you're going for the delt?
I'm gonna be there for 3 days. So I taught my next door neighbors, believe it or not. I always ask I always look up to the heavens and I say, someone please bless me with what I need. And sure enough, I always get my prayers answered. And so my next door neighbors, they're these two women, and they're like, oh yeah, we'll show us how to do it. We'll do it. I said, I'll pay it. Because I don't want anyone doing anything for nothing for me. I'll pay.
It's nice to have neighbors who can watch over anything when you're gone.
And then my wife Amanda's cousin, her husband, and they have like 6 kids, and they have 2 older kids, and they came over, and they're like your sons, and they were like going crazy. They were like, oh, this is awesome. Like, I know I could have gotten your oldest to clean the snakes if I would have taught them for
they would have loved it.
One day.
They would have loved it.
So they'll come over on the weekends. I got the 2 ladies next door. They'll come over like once or twice during the week. The good thing is once I get home from the surgery, I'll be able to supervise. It's just a couple days I'm going to be gone. And they already tried it. They already did it when I was in Dubai one time. So it went well, and so that's covered. I have no stress on that end. The one thing that I was concerned about was, all the Rx muscle stuff. But I purposely planned the surgery for December, the week before Christmas, because I knew there would be really not that much going on. We pre-recorded a lot of stuff. And you know me, I'll probably after 2 or 3 days, I'll want to start.
Oh yeah, you'll be itching.
I'll be doing like updates, from my hospital.
From the hospital bed. Yeah, you've done great shows from the hospital bed.
Yeah, you got
little videos and.
It's gonna be like a reunion of sorts because Boston Lloyd's gonna come visit me again on Tuesday. Last time I had the surgery on a Monday. Tuesday he came and visited me, and then Wednesday
right. His mother came with him, right?
His mother did come with him. Yeah, I don't know who will come with him this year. This year he's got a baby on board, but I don't think they'll be bringing the baby. Because I think he's going to go to the gym first, so he'll probably come. He said, "I'll be there 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening." I said, in the hospital, that's like 12 midnight.
Yeah. It shut and plays down.
Yeah, if people get up at like 5 in the morning, he's like, "Oh, I sleep really late." I said, "How do you sleep really late? You just had a kid just recently."
Yeah, what's the answer to that? How does he sleep late?
His wife Ariel is a saint, I guess.
Yeah.
So. He wanted to know why he's taking Periactin to try to increase his appetite. Remember the old?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's
around.
a Dan Duchesne. Duchesne. It puts you to sleep, but you.
Yeah, you're like in a coma for the first week, but once you get past that first week and you get used to it, you're supposed to be. I never tried it because I can never get through the first day or 2.
Does he say that it works? Does it work?
No, it wasn't working for him. So I said, he's like, well, maybe I should try Megastrol. Boston will use any drug or substance that the more the better. So I said, well, you can use that, but I said, why don't you have an appetite? I said, I don't understand it. He's like, because he told me he's not really eating a lot of carbs. Because I told him, cut your carbs back, for a couple days, you'll be starved. That's my old trick.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I'm not eating a lot of carbs. I said, well, then how come you have no appetite? He goes, well, I'm taking Anadrol. I said, well, that's pretty stupid. You know that. He's like, well, yeah, but I'm taking injectable Anadrol, so it doesn't count.
Never even heard of it. See that?
I said,
and it doesn't count.
It's still the same drug.
Bypasses the liver.
Yeah. Well, it's still the most toxic drug that you could possibly take, even though it's not oral. Because people don't realize is just because you're orally, just because you're injecting it, it doesn't mean it's still 17 alpha alkylated. It's just in an injectable form, so it still has the same liver toxicity.
It's funny, I didn't even notice.
People don't realize it's not the fact that the orals go through the liver twice which makes it more toxic. That's a little bit more, but it's the fact that they're 17 alpha alkylated that makes them liver toxic. Because you remember, there's pills like Primabol and acetate pills, Andriol. Their orals,
Dave, I knew you were going to say Andreol.
yeah, but their orals, they have no toxicity because they're not 17 alpha alkylated. That's a chemical. What they do is they chemically alter the structure of the steroid molecule so that it can endure the liver from it prevents the liver from breaking down so quickly. Primo acetate and Andreol only last a couple hours in the system, but they don't have that toxicity.
Did you know that Andreol? What's the claim to fame by people using Andreol?
Back in the day, it was supposed to be the miracle steroid because no one had it, and it was supposed to be because it doesn't aromatize and it doesn't have any toxicity.
I thought it would not bang off the epitestosterone levels so that you could pass the drug test.
Well, theoretically, it doesn't last long enough in your system, so I don't know if that's actually true or not. I don't know. I never had anyone test it out and actually tell me that it worked. I'm sure the track and field athletes would have been ones that tested. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think it's risky to play around with that. But it doesn't last that long in your system, so that's why it doesn't have a chance to aromatize, and it really doesn't have any liver toxicity because it's not 17 alpha alkylated. The problem was that on paper it sounded like the perfect steroid, but it wasn't because it just didn't perform like regular testosterone, unfortunately. And you know what the funny thing was? You would break out terribly from these because your testosterone level would be like 1,000,000 in like 10 minutes after you took it, and then an hour later it was like 0. So you were up and down.
Yeah.
So you had to take it with an injectable testosterone anyway to keep a baseline level there. It wasn't that good. I tried it. It was good like if you wanted to go to the gym and like really amp yourself up a little bit, like you could take it right before you went to gym. I remember one time I had just started squatting like 6 plates on each side. I had only maybe done it once or twice. And of course, once you hit that mark, every time you go into the gym to do legs, you want to squat 6 plates, right? So I wasn't feeling strong at all that day. I don't know what it was. I was just feeling out of it. I'm like, there's no way. How am I going to lift 600? I feel like I couldn't even lift 400, And I said, I'm going to pop 2 Andreols. That was back in the day. I did stupid things like that. And I popped 2 Andreols, and sure enough, man, my strength went through the roof. We started with leg extensions. We must have done like 10 sets of leg extensions.
How'd you get them out of the tinfoil? They'd always get like stuck to the foil.
I know. I think the ones I used actually were in bottles because Organon made the bottles of them in Greece. The punch outs I think were from Brazil or something like that, but they were all made by Organon. Mm-hmm. They looked like little vitamin E tablets, and I got to, we started doing squats, and 405 felt like a joke weight. 500, get to 6 plates. I'm like, I'm a little scared now because I'm like, I was so weak before. How am I so strong? It's got to be the drugs. I get under the bar and like I go down and like literally, like I almost didn't come up again. I started feeling like, had the muscle start separating, that feeling, that scary feeling. I just had told my partner grab it, and they lifted it up for me, and that was the end of my leg workout. Unfortunately, luckily I didn't tear my quad, but it just goes to show you if you don't feel like pushing and you're just not your normal self, don't try to set records in the gym. Don't take tons of caffeine, pre-workouts, Andreol, any other stupid shit to try to get through it because you will tear something and hurt yourself. The problem with steroids is they make your muscles too strong sometimes. And you can tear muscles, you can tear tendons. People always say steroids weaken tendons. I don't believe that. I think they just make the muscles too strong, and then the tendons are just not meant to take that much stress and that much pulling on them, and so they tear because steroids don't make the tendons get thicker or stronger. They only make the muscle tissue do that. IGF-1 growth hormone can thicken and strengthen tendons, but not on par with how big the muscles get. I think, and that's the problem. So we went out to Carabbas. We wanted to go for a little family dinner, I guess, because who knows?
What is Carabbas?
Carabbas is an Italian restaurant. It's like one of these chains. My father would be rolling in his grave because of going to these chain restaurants. He likes the authentic type thing.
Chain Italian, no less.
But
right?
Carabbas is like a higher end, like chain Italian. It's pretty good. They got good food. I wouldn't go there.
Chain of Italian food.
Yeah. I wouldn't even. Like I have a very good taste for what good Italian food is because I had my grandmother was an amazing cook. So like I know what shit food is and I know what good food is. I told you the story when I went to guest pose in South Carolina. Did I ever tell you the story?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Tell it though because people haven't heard it.
Well, yeah, no. I went. They said we're going to take you to the best Italian restaurant of all time in your life because we know you're Italian, right? So I'm like, oh boy, because I'm remembering my dad telling me never. They don't know how to cook Italian food in the South, which I'm sure was an old bullshit story. Like, it was probably true back in the 60s and 70s, because there were no Italians there. Not true anymore because people moved, but whatever. He's like this, but this was in like Florence, South Carolina. This was like like a really not like a very well populated area of South Carolina that you would get a lot of New Yorkers living in. And the promoter was Tammy Tucker, and she's a sweetheart, awesome, just tremendous person. And they took us out to this restaurant, and I ordered penne alla vodka, and they were like, when I asked for them for that, I said I want penne alla vodka with grilled chicken. That's my order usually when I go to an Italian restaurant, or at least back in the day it was. And they said, "What's that?" That should have been my tip off.
Just bring me the cheese pizza.
You're right. That should have been my tip off. So they brought me like some whatever pasta they had, and it came out, and it literally tasted like macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, the boxed one or the homemade one?
The boxed one, yeah. And there was just something wrong with it. They tried to do what I asked them, but they couldn't do it. So that was just, I thought that was funny. Anyway, so Carabbas is pretty damn good. It's pretty close. And they have other Italian restaurants. I don't know why we go to Carabbas, because I get like the coupons, and they let the kids, make a mess and yell it over there and stuff like that. It's not so bad. And I know and it's funny because when my dad was really sick, I ran into the manager, this guy Brad, in his hospital. His mom had also fallen, broken her hip, and we were like sitting right next to the bullshit. And I had known him from the restaurant, and so after that, every time I go in there, he takes care of me. Now we have like this like kinship, almost. So Carabbas has got this thing, dine-in rewards. Every 4 visits you go, you get the 5th visit at 50% off. Right? Makes sense.
Good.
It's a good deal, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
We were
of
going a
course.
lot, so I have the card, and every time I go, I flash the card at them, and they mark down the thing, and then then on the 4th visit or whatever it is, the 5th visit, I usually order a lot more stuff, and what, like I'll get appetizers and stuff like that, because I know I'm only paying half, right?
Yeah, you want to get your money's worth.
So they must have changed the rules. So I get the bill today, and it was like probably like I don't know, for 4 of us, it might have been like $65 or something like that, which is still pretty cheap. But the kids don't really eat anything, And I'm like, all right, I'm going to use the dine-in rewards, because you could choose to use it or not.
Yeah.
So I figure
this would knock it down to 50%.
Right? Well, yeah, right. So the bill comes and it's like $45. She's like, oh, you saved $20. I'm like, how do I save $20 on a $65 bill? It's 50% off. She's like, no, it's only up to $20 though. You only get $20 off the most. I said, well, why does it say on the website 50% off? I've done it before. And they must have just changed the rules.
Yeah, little things like that drive me crazy. So it's 50. Now it's 50%.
So now I go, listen. So now I don't believe. I think the woman is a moron. So I go on the website now and I'm reading, and they say on the website, you must, in order to get a qualified dine and rewards dinner. In other words, you can't just order like $5 thing. You got to order at least $20 worth of food, and if you order at least $20 worth of food, you'll get 50% off, but only up to $20 off. So in other words, if you eat over $40, you're not going to get it. You're not getting 50% off.
Yeah, you can't have a Kai Greene meal of $282 and get the $141 off.
It used to be like that, but they didn't change.
Yeah.
They didn't change the website. So I go on the website.
They must have been going broke by people who are coming in and
how
doing.
broke could they be going? Come on, man.
I don't know.
So it's. I copied a screenshot of this.
Do what I do. Go on.
Make 3 qualified visits within 6 months to receive a reward of 50% off. That's what they say. And then in parentheses they add, this is new, up to $20 at Outback, Carabbas, and Bonefish Grill. That's it.
You should go on TripAdvisor and review it.
I'm going to, because think about, I got to do a rant here. What? How could you say it's 50% off when it's only up to $20? That's not 50% off anymore, right? I mean, it's ridiculous. First of all, who eats $40 if you have a family?
Just call it $20.
Just call it $20 off, right? Just say every 5th visit you can save $20. Right? I mean, how fucking stupid is that?
No, because the more I think of it, it's just driving me crazy. They should have
just right. It's right. It's really very, very poor.
What's Amanda say? Calm down, because I go nuts on things like that. It just drives me crazy.
I knew it wasn't the woman's fault. I was like, what did they change this? She said, I don't know. I just started working it. I said, 2 months ago, I came here and I got 50% off. And I get the whole bill off 50% off. I know I'm not crazy. I've done this, but I've probably gotten about 10 free meals over the last 2 to 3 years. So they must have just changed it recently. Like it's like with the airlines, you know, all the Sky and Priority.
Changes
they're
now.
always changing because you know what?
The bag costs more than the flight now.
I was getting when I was platinum for a couple of years there. That I was traveling.
You'd love to be in platinum. I
because
remember.
you know what they would do? They would give you 2 free upgrades every single calendar year. So in other words, I would be able to upgrade to business class. Even matter of fact, Amanda and I upgraded to business class coming back from Brazil.
When you were in business class, who would come back to see you from first class?
I don't know. I think in most of these flights, business is first class. But the funny thing, George Farrer was no. When I'm not
in first class,
he's always in business class. But if I'm in the regular class, he likes to come back and tell me about how great business is. But there was when I was coming back from Brazil, I'm telling you who it was. It was me. It was Amanda. Rico, I don't know how Rico got it. He also had. He's the one who told me about the upgrades. Actually, to be honest with you, he's like, "You got to use your upgrade." I said, "You could use it internationally." Because yeah, of course. So I called him up. That's how I got it. I got to give Rico from MPC News credit for that one. And then of course George was there. George claims he paid for it. I always buy first class. Yeah,
he overpaid.
Yeah. He didn't get Rico and I were like too poor. We're not going to spend the money, but we'll take the free upgrade. George actually just paid for the ticket, or at least he said he did. But George was he was the million miler. He had 1 million miles.
Yeah, well, remember he had 1 million miles in the first 6 weeks. Remember that year?
Yeah. That was back in Pinocchio days. Who called him Pinocchio? Oh, Dennis James called him Pinocchio, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how he's doing. I heard he's doing. I think he's doing better. I pray for him every night. I really do. As much as we break his balls, he was dealing with cancer for the past 2 years. So I think finally, because I talked to one of his clients, who buys species from me, and I think he said that George is cancer free, but I don't know. So I pray that he is, because we need more George. I miss him. I actually got to be honest with you. I miss arguing and talking to him at all the shows.
Yeah. I spoke to him not too long ago.
Oh, that's right. You bumped into him, right?
No, I saw him at the Arnold last year. Yeah, well, because he was sick at the Arnold. Yeah, he missed the night show.
Yeah, he was still. I think dealing with it. So hopefully, he's
that's
better.
right. He was very sick at the night show last year. But I had texted him after that too, and he wasn't doing well. But
he wasn't.
I think he's doing.
I think
he's doing better now.
Yeah,
he's doing better now. Yeah, I think he's doing better. Just the comeback is. Draining, trying to get your energy back. Your lifestyle back.
I mean, you went through it.
Yeah.
It's
we're
one
cursed.
thing.
Me and him are cursed.
Yeah.
What are the statistical chances?
You're brothers now.
Brother,
you're cancer brothers.
Only me and you can beat cancer.
That's right. That is right. Because you guys
Isn't
are
it funny though?
You guys are the number one gurus. That's why.
You know what? I am still number one guru, and I just wanted. You had 30% survival rate. Mine was 99% chance. I shouldn't even make fun of it.
Yeah, but
I know he's doing better because I talked to him recently.
He'll be like, you, Sean Roden winning Olympia is good, but I have beaten cancer, so I beat death. He beat death. You beat Phil Heath. Not the same. So yeah, tomorrow is going to be today is my surgery ostensibly. And I, hopefully, I went for the CAT scan, the CT scan. They make you go 10 days out or 7 days out. And
done tons of those.
I mean, not that believe me. I'm like, did you guys really need to see the CT scan to know that my shoulder's destroyed?
Yeah, my
He's
shoulder's
like, no, we just
gone.
look just to make sure there's nothing in there. But
we want to bill you the 38. They want to bill the insurance at 38.
Of course, you know how much I have to pay? $190 out of pocket. If I told you how much I pay for insurance every month, I shouldn't be paying anything out of pocket.
God.
We met our deductible 400 times already this year because we've had so many procedures done between my wife and I. So she had a baby. Well, no, actually, the baby was last year technically. So anyway, I went for the CAT scan, and as predicted, I have very little bone on the lower part of my, I guess you could say the socket joint there.
You can make a new one with like a 3D printer, right?
Yeah.
Upper shoulder.
Well, you know what? If you don't have the bottom portion, they're going to probably do a reverse shoulder on me like they did on my other one, which I kind of figured was the case. And I was thinking about when I actually, Amanda and I were trying to think about like when I first met her. I think when like at a show, I think she was 2003 or 4, might have been 2004. She's like, yeah, you were having problems with your shoulder then. I said, yeah, I've been having problems with my shoulder since 1997. I said, so I made it 20 years. I needed a shoulder replacement 20 years ago.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy how long your shoulders. Your shoulder's been completely shot since like 09.
Oh, I know. At least, it was way before that. But
complete. I know it's been shut. There's different levels, but completely. I mean, you've been holding the microphone like,
I've been. You know what the problem is? I've been compensating for so long that even though my left shoulder works, I don't consciously use it. Like I'm still as handicapped now. If I'm like if Logan throws a ball to me, unconsciously my left arm will go out to the side and grab the ball, like catch it, and it feels like it's a miracle catch to me. I don't know how my arm got out there. It was like it's like an instinctual thing because I used to play baseball and stuff like that with my dad and friends and stuff like that. So I wouldn't reach out there on my own to do it, but when it's instinctual, it just happens, and it's like, whoa, there was no pain. Why don't I do that more often? So it's like I have to untrain my body to not,
strange
to use my joint, which is weird. So yeah, so the right one will get done. I'll probably be in the hospital till Wednesday, assuming nothing goes wrong. I'll be home. Then I got to go back in 10 days for them to take the stitches out, and then then the waiting begins. I got 6 weeks. I go back. If everything is good after 6 weeks, they claim I can take the sling off. I don't need to wear it, even though I probably won't be wearing it much anyway. And then in 3 months, I can work out again. So it's a long process, but you know how fast. Yeah, I always tell people, don't wait to do anything anymore. Time flies so fast. 3 months will be gone, and like we'll be laughing. I'll be like, Chris, remember when I was talking about the surgery? Oh my God, 3 months passed already.
It'll be 3 years.
3 years.
You know,
exactly.
I mean, how long ago did you blow up the knee in India?
2012. Can you believe it? That's the next surgery I got to get next year. I got to find a guy who can. I'm putting out all my positive vibes to the universe to find me the guy who's going to fix my quad.
What's the universe telling you?
Right now, it's saying take care of your shoulder first.
Same thing your insurance company's telling you.
They're like, we'll get back to you on the quad. Take care of your shoulder.
Your
first.
Insurance must lose on you. They must like look at this. So who's these Palumbos, man?
I don't think so. If you saw how much money I paid every month, you'd throw up. For my family policy through at least the business pays for it. You know what? I don't know if you have been reading about this John of God thing. I went out to there.
Yeah. He's like everyone else. He's like
the gymnastics guy.
Anyone he can get his hands on, he has to try to bang.
Yeah, I don't know if that's who knows. These people are crazy, right? Even the funny thing is. I always say people like, what was it like going down to John of God and get healed? Well, when he's John of God, when he's actually the guy, John of God, the regular guy, you see afterwards at the party, eating sausage. That's the guy who's molesting the women. When he's actually doing his healing, he's not even the same person. He's like he has different colored eyes. It's like a weird fucking thing that goes on down there. He's a healer. He's blessed. But it's funny how people think, what, I got a gift from God. I better fucking cherish this thing and fucking really have a sense of responsibility because with great, as they said in Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility, right? But these guys, they like lose their fucking mind, and they abuse people.
That's the whole.
Now, it's alleged right now, but I think there's enough women that came forward that it's probably...
It's like 300, isn't there 300?
There was some Dutch dancer or something like that who came to be healed by him, and he like had anal sex with her or something like that. He told her he needed to cleanse her or something like that. I mean, I doubt this woman... Yeah, I doubt this woman was lying. I don't see it happening. There's no reason. It's kind of embarrassing to come out and say someone anally raped me. You know what I mean? It's not like it's not like the greatest thing because now people are gonna have a really this bad impression of you. So if it didn't happen, she wouldn't have said anything. So I wonder what's gonna happen. I wonder if they're gonna close this guy down. The country of Brazil loves him because he's healed the president of the country's like family before. So I can't see them throwing him in jail, but who knows.
You never know.
Everything's payoffs in Brazil anyway.
Maybe he'll end up getting, by divine justice, a colonic in jail.
Or maybe he'll just drop dead. That's probably more like it.
Yeah.
He's not a young man either. You know, he's in his, I think he's in his late 70s, something like that. What a shame. There's no sanctity in anything anymore.
In nothing, dude. In nothing. It's always
people
it's
can't.
always
You know what it is?
something.
People can't handle the power. That's what the problem is. It
Of
comes.
course.
It goes to the
What's
head.
that saying? Come on, what's that saying with power? It corrupts.
Absolute power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. You know, that's the old Lord Acton, right? Quote. That was the first thing I learned in social studies in June when I went to high school. The first day of class, they gave us that quote, and I never forgot it. Matter of fact, they had it on the wall, I think. No, I think Lord Acton said something else, didn't he?
I'm not sure.
I'll have to look that up.
I was just thinking of all the people who corrupted it with a lot of power. I mean, it is what it is. It's human nature.
Right? I mean, it's true, and it's not just it's in every walk of life.
It's human nature. It was in one segment. It's in everything.
Right?
Dude, I see people on condo boards who turn into like nut jobs. I'm serious. You know, I mean,
you give them you give them a little power, and that's what happens.
Yeah, no. People say to me like, "What happened to so and so?" And then eventually they say, "Did he turn, or did she become a power freak?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "You're kidding me." No, that's what happens. But then you push the envelope, right?
John Emmerich Edward Dahlberg. Acton. Yes, John Acton. I was right. Lord Acton. Lord Acton to you people out there listening to this. He was the one who said it. Power corrupts absolute. Power corrupts absolute. And don't you guys forget that. So,
speaking of. Yeah, we had a publisher. No, we'll skip that.
I interviewed Sadik Hadzovic.
How's Sadik doing?
He's coming back to Men's Physique. Did you know that?
Men's Physique?
Yeah, he's leaving Classic and going back to Men's Physique. He feels he has a better chance to
I think he does have a better chance.
He thinks he can win.
I think he can win.
Yeah, do you think it's a good move?
Well, I think it's a good move because the division has Classic Physique has radically ramped up and changed very quickly, and Sadik's downfall or his limitation is his torso, right?
Right.
He's got a long torso. Standing relaxed, you don't notice that.
Interesting.
It's only in like the front. You know what I mean? You notice it in the front double. And you notice it in the back double, but standing relaxed in the front, he's got big cap delts and he's got good triceps. Plus, he's got great height, and he's got width, and he's got small waist.
Yeah.
I mean, that division's changed a lot too. You know.
Yeah, since Jeremy Buendia's out of there, I think that maybe he does have a better shot. I mean, he's beaten all those guys before. Now, granted, it's they've got
I don't
bigger.
know if he can talk to smack of these guys though.
I asked him
Goodness,
that.
he goes,
he goes, you know I don't talk smack. I'll let those guys battle it out. I said, yeah, what do you think about that Andre Ferguson, Brandon Hendrickson, like going at it at the press conference?
Let me be Sadik. You asked him that?
Yeah.
Well, it's he probably said it's like, it's good, it's good, it creates some excitement, but it's not for everyone, including myself. I just respect everyone who's up there. We're all, gunning for number one. We all want to be number one. We're all athletes, and,
It's the
right?
Jay Cutler answer. Yeah, it's the Jay Cutler answer. Yep. That's exactly what he said.
Did he do the interview with him, or did you have to subpoena him?
No, he actually he was very he wanted to talk about it, I think. So that was good.
Because the Kai interview, you actually...
Did you like the Kai interview?
Well, you had to subpoena him, I realized after.
Yeah, well, I didn't subpoena him, but
he was under duress.
Yeah,
he did not.
He didn't
people don't
voluntarily.
realize.
Yeah.
He had to do the interview, right?
Right. He wasn't. Yeah, he didn't voluntarily do it.
So it's like a police officer or a lawyer pulling him in, and then he pleaded the fifth when you asked him something. He took
the fifth on most things. Yeah. I didn't get much of it. I didn't get too many answers out of him, but I did get some. He did say to me that he would like to win the Olympia, but he couldn't commit to doing the Olympia because there's too much red tape.
Maybe he can ask John of God to come in and intervene.
say a prayer for him. Just don't turn around. Don't turn around on John of God. He might have to do an internal cleansing on you. You know, the funny thing about Kai is that he knows that people kind of like, mock the fact that he won't answer a question, and yet he still does it. He still won't answer the question. He looked at me during the interview and he said to me, he's like, "What are you looking at?" I said, "Well, I'm just waiting I'm waiting for the possibility that you might answer my question." I said, and I got to just say, I love Kai. I hope he loves me too, but I think he's a great person. And I like to break his balls a little bit, on the show. But, he's so good for the sport. But the guy can't answer a question. He loves to talk in riddles and metaphors. And I said, Kai, thank God my dad was an English teacher and we used to analyze, Shakespeare and stuff like that. I can kind of get the gist of what you're saying. But a lot of other people can't. Can you just answer the question, please?
Metaphors, allegory, and you name it.
Yeah.
Anyways, I didn't want to sidetrack from Sadik. Sadik is going back to.
He's gonna wait.
Physique.
Physique. He's gonna go back to men's physique.
It's big. That's a big story, really.
And he's doing the Arnold. He's not waiting.
It's even bigger.
Yeah, he's going right in. Well, he's going to be facing the top guys right there. The only one who probably, I don't know if Brandon Hendrickson will be there, but I know that Andre Ferguson will be there. Oh wait, I'm looking at the list right now. Hold on, let me see. I don't see men's physique though on the list. Arnold Classic, men's physique.
Oh, it's funny. Probably it's funny because he put on a lot of muscle, which he needed to do now that the classic is. The men's physique is more muscular.
Right. No, I said that to him. I said you're going to do well. You got big for men's physique, but you got big for classic physique, but men's physique got just as big. So.
Yeah. No. You know what people don't realize is. The negative or the Achilles heel to his physique in classic bodybuilding is his torso is a little bit long, and like I said, it hurts him in the front and back double. But he's very, very wide.
Yeah, I think he's got a good structure.
Yeah, no, he's very wide with capped delts and capped triceps. So like for men's physique. That's standing is so much of the equation. It makes a big difference.
Yeah. I'm looking at this Arnold Classic competitor list. Have you seen it?
For what?
For the Arnold Classic coming up.
Yeah, I didn't see physique. I saw the bodybuilding. They got like 3 guys.
Well, the physique will be. Says the Arnold men's physique and women's physique will feature competitors open to any IFBB Pro League athlete who has finished in the top 5 in a pro contest. So they're doing that whole elimination round. There'll be 40 people there, and then the top, 10 make it to the finals. Sadik will definitely be in that. Obviously, I don't know why they haven't just limited it down to. You know what the truth is? I don't think that they know who all these people are. They're like, who the hell are we going to invite for men's and women's physique? We don't know. We'll just let them all come, and we'll let the judges sort it out at the pre-judge. That's what I'm convinced. I'm convinced that's what it's about. Now, the Arnold Classic itself, I have the list is William Bonac, Rafael Brandeo. Are you working with him still?
Yeah.
Okay. Brandon Curry, Charles Dixon, I see it on the open list, so that's an interesting change. Steve Kuklo, Josh Lenardowitz, Victor Martinez, Cedric McMillan. Are you working with him or no?
No, but I saw pictures of him today. He sent me. He looks really, really good.
Oh, good. Luke Sando.
Working with him.
Back again, even though all the problems.
Yeah.
Mikhail Volinkin. Akeem Williams on the list for the first time. Congratulations, Akeem. And Ruli Winkler, who I would have to say that Bonac and Ruli probably the 2 favorites, with Cedric, a question mark, of course, because you never know what we're going to see from him. It could be great, it could be terrible, right? And then everyone else is kind of like fighting for those, next, 2 spots in the top 5 there. Steve Kuklo on the list, obviously, also another great competitor. So I think it's going to be a good show. I think Jocelyn Ordowitz has got to be considered the dark horse there.
I totally agree with you. I told someone that today.
We haven't seen him for a year, so we don't know what he's going to bring to the stage.
Well, you know what? He's speaking of width. He's wider than Bonac.
Mm-hmm.
He's got better legs than Bonac. I'm just using Bonac as someone who I think
because
is
he's the defending champion too.
Yeah, someone who's extremely muscular. So, if you got better legs and you're wider, I mean, that says something.
Sure. Rulli might steal this show. Who knows? He beat Bonac last year.
Yeah. No, he's Rulli's got all kinds of different. Bonac's consistent. Rulli's got different looks. He's got. They're all variations of very good, but he's got extremely good to very good, and there is a difference. He's got to be at his best to win. Everyone's got to be at their best to win.
Well,
but
he beat Bonac at the Olympia, but Bonac was a little off too, so we don't really know if Bonac had been at his best. Would he have beaten Winkler?
Yeah, they've gone back and forth the last couple shows. They went back and forth at the. Bonac beat him at the Arnold Spain. Bonac beat him at the Olympia, not this year, the year before. Then Rulli beat him this year in Prague, and Rulli beat him last year in Prague.
Sure. And then Curry, you got Curry, who's a dangerous guy too. What about Rafael Brandao? Has he made a lot of improvements this past year? Yeah,
he's improved a lot. He's thicker.
He'll be definitely top 5. I can't see that not happening.
There's only 10 guys.
Well, that's the way it should. There's 12 guys, but that's the way it should be. I think that the people should take a page out of the Arnold Classic people's book, because I hate seeing 40 guys up there in that lineup. It drives me crazy. I see there's no 212, and I had texted Bob Lorimer, and I asked him why. Because we're all speculating, right? He said that there's been a lack of interest from the top competitors in the 212 division, and that's why they got rid of it. I don't know if I agree with that or not, but, aside from Flex Lewis, everyone else is doing the show, right, in that 212 division.
There's been a lack of interest. What does that mean?
That means that they haven't participated. That's how I interpret that.
I would disagree with that.
Yeah, aside from Flex Lewis not doing it, Mr. Olympia never really does these shows. He did do the first one; he won it. Aside from him, everyone else,
maybe
Jose,
Ascanani,
Hide,
yeah. Correa has done it.
David Henry.
So
he means in the last 3 years. He said the last 3 years. So I don't know. But
we're talking about those people have done it in the last 3 years, Dave.
It's been top.
All the lists you just said.
Well, that's
and
what
sometimes more than once.
What's his name? Who took me out to dinner? What's his name? You know him. Who took me out to dinner in Dubai?
What's his name?
Who took me out to dinner in Dubai?
I can read your mind usually, but what's his name in the universe?
Who took me out to dinner?
John of God.
What?
John of God. Trudy. Simea Trudy.
Yeah, Simea Trudy.
See, I could go on.
Yeah, you could read my mind usually. I don't have to.
I don't even know if you told me you went out to eat with him, but I know you were there.
I told you the story.
He was there.
Yeah, Sammy took us out to sushi. So Sammy Trudy even texted me, and he's the one who sent me the top 5 lineups of the last 3 years. He goes, "That looks like a pretty good lineup to me." I said, "I know." I said, "I don't know why they did it." I said, "I'm just repeating what Bob Lorman told me. There must have been someone who was missing that they weren't happy about."
He's just repeating a line that.
Yeah. Did you see what happened to Lou Ferrigno? Speaking, I'm all over the place, but Lou
Ferrigno. He got a flu shot in the bicep or something, right?
Yeah, Lou Ferrigno got a. I did a whole rant on these morons who give the vaccinations. They're like sadistic lunatics. They take these big, huge needles and they harpoon it into your arm like they're hunting for Moby Dick in the ocean. Like they're throwing a harpoon to try to I don't know why they hit you so hard with these needles. Look, you've given yourself plenty of shots back in the day. You can easily slide a needle in nice and easily, and you get very little pain afterwards. And they overdo it. They're so zealous with putting this huge needle. They're injecting a water-based vaccine into you, for God's sakes. They could put it in an insulin needle. Lou has no fat on his body. They probably used like an 18-gauge needle with an inch and a half, 2 inches long, and they probably rammed it as hard as they could into his arm, like they always do. And he probably got some kind of a hematoma there, and it turned into an infection. He wound up in the hospital. The guy's almost 70. I mean, come on. He's going there to try to prevent himself from getting the flu and getting sick, and he winds up having to go to the hospital because these morons can't give him a shot right. It's ridiculous. I texted his son. I wanted to see how Louis was doing. He said, my dad's doing better. Thank you for asking. And he told me the story. I said, these freaking people are ridiculous. Why can't they teach anyone? You know what it is? Whenever they see a bodybuilder, no body fat, good veins, we're going to give them the least qualified person to that guy to give him the shot. Because who could fuck it up on this guy, right? That's what happens. And then that's why people like us get problems with these... with when going for shots and stuff like that, because they give you the worst possible person. You send a woman with no veins in there. They give the expert to her because they think, well, we don't want it. This is hard. We got to get an expert in here. I want the expert. Give me the expert. I don't want the freaking lackey who just came into is volunteering for the day there. Right?
Yeah.
Am I crazy or what?
So, I've never heard of such a thing. Get a flu shot or vaccination shot and end up with a hematoma. If that's what it was? There's
never been a time that I leave. There's maybe been 2 times where I've left the hospital or going to give blood where I haven't had a hematoma, and I have the best veins of probably anyone in the history of civilization. Because they always give me the trainee.
Trump has better veins than you. He says he's got better words and better veins. Go ahead.
That was funny. When I texted Lou Ferrigno Jr., said, "Hey Dave, my dad will be fine. Freak infection on a pneumonia shot. Thanks for your concern." And then I said, "Yeah." I said, "I can't believe these idiots who give these shots." He's like, "Yep, you're right." He goes, "My dad's super healthy guy." So he wasn't really concerned, but freak accidents like this cost lives, unfortunately. And he's right. Because his dad could have died from that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Nuts. I don't know what's wrong with these people. You got to get some smarter people in there, I think.
Did he get the pneumonia?
No, he went to get the shot. So he wouldn't get the flu.
Yeah,
he gets a flu shot every year. He's trying to just be preventative. And he's got to worry about dropping dead because these morons, you don't know how to give a shot to him. I mean, come on. What's wrong with these people? I'll tell you what. I went to the hospital. When I went to get my shoulder done last year, they gave me an expert. She didn't leave a single mark on my body the whole time I was there. So, Tampa General, I got to take my hat off to them. I told you I ran into John Hansen there, right?
No. Wait, in Tampa or
I can't remember any. I can't. Yeah, listen to this. So I go to the hospital on Wednesday.
He was getting his plastic surgery, probably.
To do the pre-workup, right?
No, because he looks young. So I always kid him and say, John, I know you get the plastic surgery. There's something going on.
He loves that. I guarantee. And he listens. He's probably listening right now because you know what? So I'm walking out of the hospital, right? I'm going into the parking garage to get in my car, and I'm like looking in the distance, and I see a police officer, and I'm like, who's that? That guy looks familiar to me. That's going to be a bodybuilder. He's pretty built. Like you can tell, who's a bodybuilder. And as I get closer, I realize it's John Hansen. I'm like, John, what are you doing outside the hospital here? I didn't know you were a cop. He was like, I'm not a cop. I'm a security guard. He's like, I just started working there 3 days ago. I'm like, holy mackerel! What a coincidence that is, right? To run into John
Hansen. Security guard.
Yeah.
What's hospitals need security guards for?
Tampa General is a big hospital. So he's working outside, and they're probably giving him good benefits and stuff like that. So we took a picture. I put it on my Facebook and Instagram, and so I'm like, John, what are you doing? He was like, I'm just listening to podcasts. John's like he's listening to bodybuilding podcasts. He's
working while he's working.
We got one earpiece in, and he's listening to all the podcasts. He's probably listening to this right now as I'm getting surgery, So I said, all right, you got to come visit me. He's like, I'm off on Monday and Tuesday. But I said, I'll be there Wednesday too. So come up and say hello. So I got Boston Lloyd coming in on Tuesday. John Hansen will be Wednesday. And I open it to anyone who's who lives in the Tampa area and wants to come bring me food or say hello. Monday I might be a little out of it. Tuesday's probably the best day to come visit me. Wednesday I'm going home. So
Ron Harris says you're getting a new liver and kidney by
way of... Might as well, right? And let's replace everything while I'm at it, Dave went to Brazil. He took John of God's kidney from him. That's why John of God is molesting people now.
No, he hangs out with that molester down in Brazil.
Blackman would love to go down there and be molested by John of God. And get healed and molested at the same time.
Speaking of your Instagram, I see you've been posting pictures like when you're like 390.
Yeah, you know what? I was going through
315, dude. 315. I think you should have just gone on stage at like 312.
That's what
you
everyone said.
Won. Huh?
I did the North American in what was it? 2001 at 281. This is the heaviest I ever competed. I figured,
That's a good weight.
Yeah, I figured,
how could you lose?
Right.
Tell me how you could lose.
They gave me 6th place. Or 5th place, I think they gave me.
Too big.
Who knows? They didn't. I don't even. Jeremy, what's his name?
Oh, I knew Fergus, not Jeremy. Jeremy, yeah. The guy from Canada. Muscle Tech guy.
Yeah. Nice kid. I like him.
Yeah, very nice.
Jeremy Freeman. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So he won that year. I was staying with Kovacs. This is a true story. Greg and I had just gotten divorced, so Greg and Kim were like, "Oh, you got to come up and stay with us, and we'll take care. I'll take care." Basically, Kim's taking care of me. Greg's just going to entertain me. You know, Kim's going to take care of me. So I'm up there. I come up like 5 days early or so. Maybe it was a week early. I stay with them, and Kim literally is like a slave. You know, like every meal. I was eating so much food. I couldn't come in any less than 281. I'm lucky I didn't come in at 300 pounds. I was ripped. I was shredded. But she was, the meals there was so much food present that and Greg eats so often that I just fell into his routine. I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to carb up, man. Maybe I'm going to come in big because that's what everyone's saying. They want to say, and Greg's like, oh, you look great. I was posing for him. It was like we were watching porn movies, going out there because Greg's like, oh, you look great. You're getting fucking shredded. There's fucking veins coming out of your glutes. And, I looked wacky. It was a good probably gym look for me, but, on the stage, I don't know if it translated as well, but I looked enormous, and, I'm only 5'10", and I was, 281 I weighed in at. Who knows what I actually got on stage at. But seriously, Kim, if Kim Kovacs is watching or listening, whatever, she was amazing. I couldn't believe the food that was coming out of that refrigerator.
What was the big deal? What was it? Was it good tasting or quantity?
I must have been 12 meals a day that she was serving. 12 meals a day. It didn't stop. And Greg can't make his own food. He can't even go to the refrigerator. He couldn't.
Were you using Boston Lloyd's Periactin at the time, or no?
I didn't eat it because when you're dieting, you're hungry, man. I had no problem.
Isn't it funny? Yeah, when you're dieting, you're hungry.
And for some reason, Kim's food tasted way better than my food does. I don't know.
Because it was cooked for you.
Yeah, of course it was. It was spiced up.
Canadian spices. Canadian
it was
spice.
Awesome. It was great. And then all Greg and I did was sit around on the couch all day. And Greg, I don't know if people know any of this about this, but Greg would sit around I think he put on a pair of like underwear for me, but he used to sit around naked all the time, from what I understand. He had a pair of underwear. You ever see that show, My 600
Why?
Pounds?
Because it was too hot, right? I bet it was too hot.
I don't know. I didn't ever ask him, but that show, My 600 Pound whatever.
Brother or whatever.
Life or something like that. And they try to lose the weight. They have that weird old, that surgeon who does the stomach stapling or whatever. Anyway, Greg, all those 600-pound people, they're like in muumuus. They have to put them in because they can't fit into anything, right? They usually have they look like they have back in the Greek and Roman times, they would wear the togas. They can't fit. So they usually are laying. You ever notice that they're always laying around naked? The heavy people, because there's nothing that can fit them.
Yes, I never realized it. But
that's what
I
Greg
haven't heard the word
like.
boo-boo in like 20 years.
That's my mother's term. So that's a Jewish term, I think. But Greg was laying on the couch like that, naked almost, with just like this little pair of underwear on. And I'm like, are you going to put any clothes on? He goes,
well, what do you do? Eat all day and just wait to go to the gym?
Yeah, and then at around like 4 o'clock, it was time to go to the gym, and it would take him like an hour to get prepared, get all his gear on. And he drove. He didn't, him and I went to the gym together. He drove he had a truck.
You said make it sound like it's impressive. He drove. What?
Well, because Kim did everything else, but he drove to the gym on his own, and she even wiped his butt. A lot of times they would go to the bathroom together. So I'm like, Greg, you gonna get dressed? He's like, why? I don't never get dressed. So you have a problem? I said, no, I don't care. You don't need to get dressed. just seems kind of weird. You laying around on the couch, with no clothes on all day. That was Greg. He was the greatest. I miss him. I do. If all the people who we've lost in our industry, I miss Greg the most. And I didn't even talk to him all the time. I didn't have to. It was, we would text us back and forth once in a while. But and I got to go back and pull some of those last radio shows he was on when he was starting to like try to get back into the industry and start coaching people.
Yeah,
he told some funny stories on those. Whoa, he was a very funny guy. People don't realize how funny he was because he was intimidating looking. So people thought he didn't talk, but he was. You got him in his house, forget about it. If I would have got him on this radio show, you would have loved it. We would have you and I would be laughing our asses off from him.
No, it'd be me, you, Nasser, and him on the show.
Well, he's got the photographic memory too. He remembered every detail also of like Nasser did.
Well, Nasser did it because he was crazy, right? I mean, there's a difference.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was like psychotic.
Greg did it because he loved it. He remembered every detail.
Right. I think Greg had a relationship with Jay, didn't he too? I know they talked a lot.
Yeah, they were friends. Yeah, they were. They went way back.
They knew every little snippet about Jay's life too. Because I didn't really talk to Jay much, but I knew everything about Jay from Kim and Greg. From their relationship with him.
Yeah, they were pretty close. I wonder how that got to maybe Muscle Tech or because Greg was with like the Muscle Tech guy at the beginning.
Oh right, yeah.
And then Jay used to go up there a lot. Because,
I bet you that's how. Yeah, that's probably how it happened. But a lot of people like Greg because he was a very funny guy. He was
Kovacs. That's what Jay used to say like that. Kovacs. Kovacs 440, Chris. Kovacs 440.
Oh my god! There was I don't know if you remember that. That commercial that's on TV, baby back, baby back, baby back.
Yeah.
Him and Greg and Titus used to sing that song all the time. It was like an inside joke. I didn't even know what it was because I didn't really know the commercial. But they would always baby back, baby back, baby. I don't know what the inside joke was, but it was very funny when they would do that. The good old days. Now
I call Jay right now and say, Jay, what about the guy, the big guy, the guy in Toronto? He's Kovacs 440, Chris. 440. These guys. I said, what was wrong with his physique? Just
too big.
Too big for the stage.
He was good.
Jay would say he's too big for the stage. Too big for the stage.
When he won his pro card at the Canadian Nationals, he was really good. He looked really good. He was probably 300 pounds too.
Yeah, phenomenal.
He should never have gotten much bigger than that.
Well, Jay would say that too. He'd say, got too big.
I think everyone gets too big after a while, right? Is there a guy that any guys?
No, got bigger and better.
I'll tell you who didn't get too big. Sean Ray never changed. Looked the same every year. But it was good. It was a good look. He was smart. He was just lazy, but he didn't need to get any bigger. That was if he would have gotten bigger, he would have pulled a Phil Heath, and he would have ruined his physique probably.
Yeah.
It was he made a good point. I had him on the show the other day because he called me up. Yeah, Sean needed.
Yeah, you guys are like buddies now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're it's like that show like on what's it called where they argue on TV.
Ask him. Yeah, you gotta.
We don't like each other, but we're good for ratings,
Yeah.
And what was I going to say? Now I almost forgot where I was going.
You had Sean Ray on your show about not getting bigger. He made a good point about something.
Because he was saying, Phil Heath was complaining that he only lost one pose, the ab thigh. The only problem is he said that every other pose has pretty much aside from the back pose has the abs in it too, and that's part of the pose. So and he lost a lot of those.
Well, no, God, see.
Well, that's what Sean Roden beat him. Sean's got the midsection, and
it's just gonna sink in that he lost. That's the problem.
He doesn't think we'll see Phil Heath either. He doesn't think we're going to see Kai on stage.
I predicted those. I predicted you.
Yeah,
you don't have to go to Sean Ray.
I know you're both in agreement. That's when you have two people who don't really like each other in agreement. That usually is a pretty good indicator that it's probably going to be true.
Good barometer.
I like to keep speculating that maybe it'll happen because just to keep people interested. If I also agree with you, then people can be like, "Oh, those guys suck. I don't want to hear them talk about it anymore because they're ruining my fun." We want to believe that Kai's going to come back. The greatest person who came back, because I remember when I was reading the magazines when I was in the early 90s, was when I saw Ferrigno coming back. I didn't know anything about anything. I didn't really understand bodybuilding and how it was judged. All I know is Ferrigno was coming back, and he was my favorite bodybuilder, and he was the Incredible Hulk, and he was going to win the Olympia in my mind. I believed it because I wanted to believe it. anyone who was in the know of the sport probably said, this is going to be a real publicity stunt, right? I'm sure that's what you thought. You probably knew better. You were out there.
No, I know because he was training. You know.
Well, he was huge, but he did get huge. But I think the people who were competing knew that he wasn't going to have the physique to be able to beat Dorian and those top guys. But I mean, he came back and was very impressive looking. He just at that point in time, 38 years old was old. Nowadays,
isn't that funny?
He's getting warmed up.
Now Roden's 43 and winning it. How crazy is that? It's like he was he was still technically a young man. I mean, Phil's 39.
No, I know. It's funny, but isn't it weird how
people thought? I mean, the point is really to all of that is Ferrigno was out of the sport at a very, very young age.
Yeah. Well, he did the Incredible Hulk for all those years. But think about it, 50 really is the new 40 now.
Isn't it but couldn't he have done the Hulk and done the Olympia?
No, because they would have him on the set for all day, even though they weren't, and he was in green makeup, so he couldn't even train. He told me he couldn't even go to the gym. By the time he left the set, he was exhausted.
So odd.
Yeah. Maybe he was doing some little workouts in his house, but it was too much. It was just.
I mean, were they filming the Hulk during the contest prep season? I mean, the last 10 weeks, 14 weeks running into the Olympia?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not sure. But I think once
you signed in? I mean, you did a lot. You did enough of y'all.
I don't know. I don't know when they film this stuff. Usually they film in the summer because it's so that when September comes around, I guess they have all the new programming for the year, right? That's when the new season starts. So they must have been filming. Well, actually, I don't even think they filmed in the summer, did they? Did they take the summer off? Maybe it's right before the summer. I don't know. All I know is that he wasn't able to do it, and I don't know why. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. That's a good question. I just don't know. Maybe he thought he was going to be a big movie star and he was trying to do other stuff. He did do some other movies. There they weren't, star hits. It's funny that later in his career he became a much bigger star. Like now he's a much bigger name than he was when he was doing the Hulk. I mean, everyone knew him as the Hulk, but he's done a lot more stuff recently, I think, than he's done in the past. There's a scene, if you got to watch. Have you and your kids seen that Thor Ragnarok?
Not yet. No.
It's an older. It's on Netflix now. You got to watch it. There's a great scene where the Incredible Hulk fights Thor in an arena. I won't tell you any more about it. I feel like I've already told the story, so I might be repeating myself.
I think you have.
Okay, yeah. It was great. My son watches it 60 times a day.
That's why you've told it, because
and
it's 300 times in a week.
Louis,
repeating it is
the Hulk talks in this one, and Louis is the voice, so he's got to get paid a few bucks. I mean, it's not just like one line; he's got a lot of lines. So that's a major movie that made crazy amount of money. So I'm sure Louis got some money for that role as the Hulk. And I know it's Louis' voice. I know how Louis talks, and I can imitate Louis because I've been imitating him since I'm in the 70s. Since I'm a kid, I used to do the Hulk roar and everything like that. Hulk smash, Hulk crash, all that. My son, he goes crazy. He loves when I do it. He's like, I said, "Oh, look what Hulk did! He smashed Thor." He goes, "Yeah, Thor." I said, "But is Thor going to get him back?" He's like, I said, "Is Thor going to give him the thunder punch?" He goes, "Yeah, thunder punch." Anthony Hopkins plays Thor's father, Odin, in the movie. It's like he looks like my father, and so my son sees him. He goes, "Papa, Papa, Papa." Papa's in the movie. I said, "That's Papa. You're right. It looks just like him."
Yeah, he does. There's a resemblance, right?
And he's got a beard in the movie, like my father had. So he looks like it. And he's giving these wise words to Thor of inspiration. He goes, Thor's like, "I lost my hammer. I have no strength." He goes, "Are you the god of hammers? Or are you the god of thunder?" And he's like giving this inspirational speech. And like, I'm getting all teared up. My son's looking at me like I'm nuts. He doesn't know what's going on. I'm like, "That's Papa. Papa's giving him the speech. He's going to give Hulk the thunder punch now." And he did. Thunder punched him right out of the arena.
When's the last time you had Ferrigno on an interview?
I had him on last year when he was promoting his show. This year they canceled it. There's no more Ferrigno Legacy Classic because the two partners got into like a little predicament with each other. But Louis Louis doesn't have time for that anyway. He's got too much going on. Now he's on the President's Council for Physical Fitness, right? With Rob Wilkins and who else was playing? There was a whole bunch of Bob Goldman.
Dan Solomon is the third leg there.
No, Dan hasn't got there yet. Dan is just the promoter of the Olympia now, which is great. I think that's. I can't wait. I really can't wait till the Olympia next year. I really think Dan's going to be good for this. I think it's one of the smartest moves the AMI has made because it was just getting stagnant. I think, and it's always good to get new blood. And even if the people who are currently doing it are doing a good job, sometimes it's just good to mix things up, and change up things. I think probably in 2020, from what I'm hearing, and I think we talked about that last week. They're going to go back to the Mandalay Bay, from what I hear, which will be awesome.
Yeah, because it's beautiful there.
Yeah, it's just a nicer hotel. I'll probably be cursing. Well, 2020 coming around, I'm like, great, we're back in the Mandalay Bay. Now my hotel bill is like 4 times what it was at the Orleans. The Orleans was like $59 a night for Thursday.
Some of them were like on a Tuesday. Tuesdays would be like 32 or something.
I'll have to stay at the Orleans after all the complaining I did. I'll be staying at the Orleans just to save the money.
You may be.
Where's Dave stay? He stay at the Orleans. Doesn't he know that the show's at the Mandalay Bay? Yeah, he doesn't want to spend the money on the hotel. Aaron will be staying at the paying $20,000 a night. He'll stay at the Blackman used to always stay at the there's like a
Bellagio.
No, the Mandalay has like another hotel attached to it. I think it's called
they
the
have a Four Seasons, right?
The Four Seasons, yeah, that's where he stays at. Yeah,
of course he'd stay at the Four Seasons. That's
yeah.
Four Seasons is the best.
And he would sit by the pool, with his. He'd be doing push-ups before he went out to the pool to pump up.
We get that on video, right?
Pump it. He's gonna pump up a little bit, for the pool scene. Oh my god! Where did the time go? We already talked for an hour. I can't even believe it. It's nuts.
2 hours, right?
No, I think it's been an hour. So I got to get up at 2 in the morning.
For the shoulder.
Got to get up 2 in the morning because I got to leave at 3:15 in the morning to get there at 5 because it's 2 hours away. I'm getting Tyler, the creator, my video guy, to drive me over there. I said I'll pay for the day. Just drop me off and come back.
Are you going to video it to the website?
I don't know. I was thinking maybe I should make him videotape something like when he gets there, like me walking in.
Yeah.
And then this way we could...
your last thoughts before you go under.
Yeah, just in case I don't make it. This way I have to say something very wise. I have to pick my words very carefully, Chris.
You could do something really funny. When you come to, you could do like your imitations. You could do...
I was whacked.
Right when you come...
I was whacked out of my mind last time when I came out of it. I was completely delirious. I actually had to man the videotape some of it. It was pretty funny. I looked at it and I'm like, I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about, right? She's like, nope. You really, when you come out of that, whatever they give you, the Versed or whatever, not Versed, they give you Propofol and all the other cocktail of great stuff.
Yeah, that's all the stuff that Michael Jackson used to take on a nightly basis.
I'll tell you what the greatest thing, if you have a good surgeon, you're in a good hospital, sometimes, like I've gone to surgeries where I'm actually completely stone sober. They roll me into the operating room and they're setting up, and I'm completely like off the street. That's the most traumatizing thing that can possibly happen to you because you're in the most nerve-wracking situation. They're cutting you open, and you're completely stone sober. There's nothing relaxed. You're stressed out. I'm like worried about every little thing. Like don't forget. I'm like telling the surgeon what not to forget. I want to be completely oblivious to what's going on. So
you do or do not?
I do want. So in Tampa, when I went to get my shoulder done last year, whatever they gave me before they rolled me into the operating room, I was like, I could have gone out to the fucking sound factory, on what I was on. I was whacked out of my. I was like, fuck, you guys can cut my head off. I don't even care,
Do you remember? When they put you under? Do you have any remembrance of falling under?
No. They say I'm going to count. I remember what they said to me. They said we're going to give you a nerve block in your neck, and you have to be awake for this. I said, oh, that sucks, because we got to make sure we get it in the right spot. I said, all right, whatever. I guess it's not going to. They're like, we're going to make you feel so good, it's not going to matter. I said, all right. So I started feeling really good, and I'm like, you know what? They're going to do this little thing. Next thing I know, I woke up. I don't remember anything. I said, was I awake when you guys put the nerve block in? They're like, yeah. I'm like, I don't remember it. They're like, isn't this stuff great? I said, it's great. Now, when I was in when I was in North Shore Hospital and I had my quad done for like the 4th time or whatever, That's when I was stone sober. And when they put the nerve block in my leg, I was completely awake, and it hurt like a bastard. And eventually, they put me out, but. Mm-hmm. They could have done it like they did it in Tampa. That's the best way. I don't want to remember anything. I don't care if I was traumatized. I don't want to remember anything. If I don't remember it, then it didn't happen as far as I'm concerned. Of course. So, yeah, it's good stuff. Who knows what the long-lasting effects of this stuff is, but probably killing 5 million brain cells every time they put you out. And that's it. I'll do that. Then we got the Christmas holidays of the following week, New Year's. Are you coming out for New Year's, or what's your plan?
Yeah. Well, okay. Most likely. I mean, we're headed to Miami tomorrow.
Okay. Now, isn't okay, all right. So that works then. We'll do our normal New Year's Eve in Cape Coral.
Maybe we can get the 50% discount at the
only up to $20.
Carabbas.
Yeah, I should go in there and let you argue with the management.
Listen. Dave, I got a flat tire the other day. I went and had my tires changed from regular tires to snow tires.
Right.
I drove it home 1.8 miles and had a flat.
Oh, my God.
So they go, I said to the guy, I'm going to bring it over there. Because it wasn't flat, but it was flat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like losing air. So when I drove it over there, they wouldn't give me a free tire because they said you drove on it.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, I did it me. Where are we starting on this? Where are the illogicalness? First let's go right to either the owner or the the head manager, because I don't want to scream at everybody. So they bring in the head manager, and I'm trying to explain to him, But I have a ridiculously important meeting I have to go to, so I can't, I can't debate him.
So you just said, "Fuck it, I'll pay for it." What do you want?
Yeah. So just give me,
give me the car back. I don't want to argue. I went in there, and we couldn't get the door open on the minivan, the passenger side rear door that opens automatically. You push a button, it goes opens. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't open up. Nothing. Nothing manual. There was no override. Couldn't get it open. So she's like, "I can't drive with this. It's too dangerous." And she's right. So I took the van in. And I find out there's a factory recall on the door.
Oh, yeah.
So they're like, all right, well, we're going to replace both doors. I said, okay. I said, okay, great. So I said, so I was waiting, and then all of a sudden, this is going to take a lot longer than we thought. We'll give you a car. I said, okay. So I go back to get my stuff out of the van, and I see the guys working on it. I said, hey, the whole door panel's apart. I'm like, what's going on? They're like, these things, there's a recall on these things. I'm like, why is there a recall on them? He goes, the door spontaneously open while you're driving. I said, oh, that sounds pretty safe. I guess I was lucky that my door just got stuck.
They know you. Hi, I have 2 babies.
Yeah, that are on the highway now. Unbelievable. You think about the most safest vehicle on the road. You spend as much money as you possibly can for that, for safety, right? And I give up my sports cars, and then you wind up getting a defective. You get the greatest van. My minivan is more expensive than the Mercedes I had. Pretty much.
Yeah, of course it is.
So I have every doohickey in there, and the fucking thing, the doors spontaneously open. And in my case, the doors fucking wouldn't open, which I guess in hindsight, I'm actually lucky that they didn't open. So they're replaced now. This is on a daily basis. This isn't suck domestic. I feel like I'm completely domesticated now. All I do is fucking argue about stupid shit that doesn't really matter or make a big difference. But in the scope of things, it does make a big difference, because whenever you have kids in the family, everything changes. All these little stupid things now count. You gotta deal with all the stuff, all the frivolous nonsense. I try to eliminate. I buy new car. I lease new cars purposely because I don't want to deal with broken cars like you do.
Yeah.
And I still I got to deal with factory recalls. It's still a pain.
Well, my lease is up in February. So
I can't even believe you have a lease. To be honest.
Yeah, I have a lease. I was just.
What about? Do you still have the Mercedes?
Yeah, of course I do. It's a classic now.
What year is that? 19. You sound like my dad.
94.
Yeah, my dad with the classics. Oh my God.
Yeah,
my dad had the 84. My dad had an 84. I think it was, and that was he said it was a classic too.
I don't drive it much. It only has like 150 15,000 miles.
Well, why don't you just
Nothing.
Why don't you redo the whole thing and just like so it looks really like you ever see how like these rappers they'll get like these old 1970 like Pontiac and they'll redo it completely. Like just trick it out and everything like that. They'll restore it and it looks like you're driving like a brand new car you drove out of the
Well, you can just drive it through the car wash and they can put that shine stuff on it, tire shine, and it looks brand new.
Oh my god!
Make it super shiny. It's like an apartment. I said, "What do you want to do?" I want high gloss paint everywhere and mop and glow on the floors.
There you go. Well, tomorrow and today and tomorrow, I should say, is the Dorian Yates interviews. So I know a lot of people have been waiting that because I kind of been teasing it. Actually, John Hansen asked me about that. He knows. He listens to all programming, and he's into training. I said, John, you're going to love the Dorian Yates interview because it talks about hardcore, heavy-duty, high-intensity weight training. And we discuss why today's athletes are not of the same caliber, density, and size as the athletes in the 90s. And I think it's going to be a great interview. I think people are going to really love it. So part 1 and 2 is up on Monday and Tuesday. And then later in the week, we'll have I got a lot of stuff. We did a lot of interviews. So I got Lavroni, I got Hani Rambad, I got who else is left that I had? Jay and Ronnie. I got this YouTube sensation kid. He's 480,000 subscribers on YouTube. We talk about how to make money on YouTube. I actually learned a few things talking to him, so that was pretty. I wasn't gonna even interview him, and I said, you know what, I'll do it because.
What's he like, a bodybuilding type thing or something?
He's got a guy from Ireland. He's just a guy who works out. He's got like a men's physique, the original men's physique guys, and he's just he's a regular guy that people could relate to. He's a decent looking guy. All those Irish guys are good looking, and he just has a good following, and he makes a lot of money from YouTube. Not only from, monetizing his videos, but for selling like ebooks and stuff like that. And that's what he was telling me. He was telling me that the key to YouTube, and I don't take advantage of it obviously because I was learning from him, was not necessarily to try to just monetize the videos that you have up there, but to sell stuff, to your audience. Stuff that you do, like what would Dave Palumbo, instead of giving away all the free information, he said write a few ebooks and sell them. Because these are stuff people want to know about. Do a more detailed version of what you talk about and
it's when Rush Limbaugh had like 20 million people or whatever, some crazy, when at his height and his peak, he probably still has it. He used to have the Limbaugh letter.
Yeah.
And I used to think, like, why would anyone subscribe and pay whatever it is? You can listen to him 5 hours or 3 hours a day anyway for free. What else can he say in the letter that he's not saying,
right,
15 hours a week?
You're right. So
the Palumbo letter. We need the Palumbo letter. You can do like appetite stacks, like periactin and whatever else you would stack periactin with. You could do like best remedies for gyno, top secret insulin protocols.
Right, there you go.
People would buy it.
So, hold on. I'm gonna end today's show with
a quote.
Not a quote. I'm getting a gift in the mail from my friend Roger Stone. I know you love Roger Stone.
Oh, how about a Monopoly card? But go ahead.
Roger Stone, who's friends with Amin Ali, Roger, who's ran the Donald Trump election campaign. He's in hot water now, so he's trying to raise money for his defense fund, and he's selling T-shirts online. It says Roger Stone did nothing wrong. It's a pretty funny T-shirt actually, and hold on, what does it say? The other side says, if I weren't effective, you wouldn't hate me. And I think there's a picture of Richard Nixon on there. Stone cold since 1968, which is funny because that's my birthday, too. That's my birth year. It's a nice shirt. And it says on the sleeve, it says Stone Cold's Truth. It's being sold on 1976.shop, like the year that we got independence. It's great. I love this. So Roger's sending me a shirt, an extra. I'll wear it on the air. He sent me one before too, when he wasn't on the, and right on this Roger shirt. I don't think this is his. There's a shirt that's a stealth commie killer. Commie, like the communists, remember? There's all these like little funny shirts. I don't think that's Roger Stone's though. Let me see if it is. I think they sell all kinds of political shirts on this 1976.shop network. Website, I should say. So they must be helping out Roger selling a shirt. $33 the shirt cost, so I'm getting a freebie. The sleeves say Stone Cold Truth on it. I like that. Roger Stone did nothing wrong. This is funny. This is really funny. I hope he doesn't go to jail, but I have a feeling he might go to jail. I don't think he's going to rat on anyone. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would do that. What do you think? I know you like to talk politics.
I think that he is going to go to jail.
You do? You think yeah, I think he's going to go to jail because he won't open his mouth. I'm sure.
Yeah.
They already offered him an immunity deal. He turned it down.
Yeah.
I think he did.
So which he's going to go to jail. I mean, look who's been in jail so far in that group.
Yeah. Well, we could say we had him on the TV show, which we did.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, maybe he can have the inside scoop on what's happening with Titus when he gets in there.
I wonder what jail he'll go to.
It's like 1 degree of separation. Isn't Titus was good friends with Amin?
That's true. But Amin separated himself from Craig when Craig was ratting people out, for steroids. So they really hadn't talked, much. Craig helped Craig early in Craig's career, The stories, if you listen to the Amin interviews, some of the stories with Craig were crazy. I didn't even know Craig was that out of his mind, with early in his life. I mean, with the drugs he was selling and all this crap. I didn't know he was so big, in what he was doing. Did you?
I had heard, but I didn't really, I didn't believe it. Right? I mean, because, you have a stereotypical view of what people kind of like, look like, or, who are dealers or whatever.
Right.
And, he looked like he had his stuff together, because Craig always presented himself as like a straight shooter.
Very polished.
Yeah. But which is, now, retrospect, represent, a red flag for being a con man.
And psychopath, yeah.
Yeah, psychopath, I guess, more than a con man. Yeah, psychopath more than a con man.
You said it. Well, I will be in surgery when you guys are listening to the show, or out of surgery and recovery, and I will keep you guys updated all week long. I don't know why anyone's even interested, but I guess, you know what? When you listen to someone every week, you kind of become like part of their family. So I do appreciate a lot of people have sent me well wishes and said, hey, Dave, good luck with the surgery and all that stuff. And I'm sure after the surgery is over, I'll get a lot of people also contacting me. And you know what? I make a joke of it, but I really, it means a lot to me because, you know what? When you go into any kind of situation where you're going to be, engaged in a very complicated operation, even though it's not technically complicated, but it's still surgery, major surgery. It's nice to know that people out there are saying good things about you and sending prayers, because that's good energy. You want good energy around you when you're in a situation like that. So I want to just thank everyone for doing that. Oh, you know what I forgot to mention? We were talking about the Arnold competitor list. Chris Dim is doing the wheelchair division.
Oh my goodness!
Do you know that?
That's incredible.
Yeah, first time he's going to be competing. He said he would never do that, but I guess it got to a point where he just missed competing so much that he said, you know what? They're really, making a big deal about these. The wheelchair division, the Arnold Classic has it, the Olympia has it. I'm going to get involved. He must feel good about himself. He must be looking good.
It's a big deal. It's impressive.
That Harold Kelly guy never loses. So maybe,
Yeah.
Chris Dim is probably the only guy who could really challenge this guy. So assuming Chris has got his physique still, intact, I think that he's going to be difficult up there. Plus, he's got to be the feel-good, right, contestant in that lineup.
Of course.
So that'll be that. I'm looking forward to that. I'll get Chris on the show before the Arnold. We'll talk about it. His decision and why he did it. I have a lot of interviews I have planned in this right after I get out of the hospital.
Well,
Probably I'll take a week off and then I'll get back into business.
There's two places Dave Palumbo can really concentrate, right?
Where?
One is coming out of surgery when you relax and nobody can get to you, and the other is on a plane.
That's right. There's my two spots. Although I'm sure as soon as they put my phone back in my hand, after I get out of surgery, whenever I become coherent and I say I need my phone so I can call my wife, which is yeah. The first phone call will go to Amanda, and then the second, and then everything else will be like text message. I'm interested to see how many text messages, WhatsApps, and Facebooks I actually have. Are people asking me stupid questions who don't know that I'm in surgery? Which obviously,
no, are you kidding? No, it goes like this. Dave, I know you're busy and you got the surgery and all, but
when you get a chance,
test cypionate. Does it aromatize more than? Because I heard you on the radio show say that andriols don't aromatize. I know you're having surgery, but I just want to, just a quick question.
You're right. That's exactly what's going to happen. So, thank you guys for the well wishes. Next time you're going to hear from me on this radio show, at least I will give you guys the official breakdown of what went on in the surgery. Hopefully it'll be a very mundane, very boring story, and I'll just say everything went as expected. That's exactly the kind of commentary I want to give you next week. But thank you all for, like I said, for sending the positive energy my way. Chris, I will talk to you after the surgery. I'll keep you updated so you can tell all the legions of fans on your Instagram out there what's going on. I'm very impressed with your following on Instagram, by the way. What do you get, like 160,000 followers?
150,000.
Yeah, that's impressive. For a guy who doesn't really like to do social media, you're pretty good.
Yeah, well, people like to see the pictures of the bodybuilders.
Yeah, but imagine if you monetize that. You don't even know.
Yeah. I have to sell. I'm going to sell them the Chris Aceto letters.
That's right. You got to start
cycles.
You got to listen.
Secret cycles.
The secret cycles.
That's what I'm gonna. The secret cycles never been seen before.
You got to.
The only person who's seen them is Boston Lloyd.
The Jay Cutler cycles. That's what you got to sell them.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. You know what? People do that.
They would be so boring. They would probably want their money back after you sent them out to them.
Such a liar. Chris is such a liar.
Right. You know how like they say Lee Priest lies about like the dosages. They'd be like, Chris fucking took our money and fucking sent us fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
He said, Jay, we took 500 milligrams of testosterone. Fuck you, liar. All right, that's it.
Put it this way. How healthy is Jay? That's an indication of what he did not use.
It's funny that Jay, me, and Dorian is sitting talking, probably three of the biggest guys, like right from the 90s that you can think about. And, we're all doing pretty good health-wise, so... There's a level of intelligence that is attached, and luck, of course, because, look, we all put our bodies at risk when we take anabolic steroids. We all did it. We can't – there's not one of us out there who can say, well, I did it safe. No, you know what? We all took chances and risks. And unfortunately, some people got out – well, fortunately, some people were smart enough to get out early and maybe save themselves, and other people just couldn't, and they cost themselves their lives, or an earlier death than they could have. Now, also, this is the show that's never going to end. Donna Oliveri passed away. I don't know if you saw that post.
I did see that, and she was an unbelievable bodybuilder.
Yeah, she was a pioneer, really, right?
I can remember seeing her. She was like the first female bodybuilder that I saw who had a lot of round muscle and was really pretty.
Yeah, she was gorgeous back in the day. Yeah, she was great looking. She was great looking when she made a comeback in her 50s. Remember in 2014?
Yeah.
I interviewed her. There's an interview on, if you go to YouTube and Google it, Donald Oliveri.
How'd she die?
I didn't do my due diligence because her husband actually texted me and said, "You want to know what happened? Call me." And I was supposed to do it before the show, and then I was at Carabbas, and I ran out of time, and I had to come back and record, and I never got a chance to call him. But we'll do a full show next. When I do the next week's show, I'll fill
you know what,
in.
Dave? She was so impressive. I remember that where she won the world championships was in Nice, France.
Wow, that's good memory you got.
Because I just remember like seeing pictures of her and thinking like, wow, she was like kind of like a Linda Murray-ish, meaning big cap delts. Big cap triceps, good legs, big V taper. I just remember her being like really good looking.
Yeah, no, she had it all. That was the when you think about women bodybuilders from those 80s, she was one of the faces. I mean, her, Rachel McLeish, Corey, obviously, but I mean that's what women's bodybuilding was always meant to be, and then it just got out of control. And then they created women's physique, and now that's getting out of control. You know what the problem is? We were saying how the men bodybuilders get too big too. Everyone got too big. I just think we're all
Obsessed.
and we're all
Push the envelope. Competitive.
disturbed, prop people with fucking mental problems, and we can't just stop. We always want to make it better and better and better, and sometimes better is not better. Better makes it worse. But then again, it's all about change. We're always evolving. You can't stop that evolution process, because once you stop it, it stagnates. You stagnate. Now the judges can stop it, okay, but you can't stop your physique from evolving, and that's the problem. That's why a lot of people move to different divisions. I think that's why the classic division is great, because if you grow out of that division, you go right into the open division or the 212. It's a nice little option that we have now in the men's bodybuilding, at least. But all right, we're out of time. I don't want to talk anymore. It's getting too late. Chris, it was great talking to you. Hopefully, I'll be around next week for next week's show. We haven't missed one yet. And remember, with Heavy Muscle Radio,
The truth hurts.
Good night, everyone.